Good afternoon. Welcome to Speak On It. This is Chericana. Janice is recording.
And I'm Janice Cross-Gilliard, and this is Speak On It History and Genealogy Conversations, recording live on location, RootsTech 2025. Oh gosh, we are having so much fun here. And our special guest today is Thom Reed from FamilySearch, and this is RootsTech 2025. And so for Thom, we'd love to know your role here at FamilySearch and also RootsTech.
So, again, Thom Reed, I'm the African American Experience Manager, which means I'm responsible for what we do to really support the African American community with records, with resources, with technology and things on our website, anything to do with our libraries, things like that. Anything that touches the African American audience, I help with it. And so when that comes to RootsTech, I really try and make sure that RootsTech provides an experience that's helpful for African American researchers, those who are researching people of African descent in the diaspora, wherever they are. And I'm a friend. That's more than anything. Like,
yes.
I don't have like an official job to do,
Yes.
but I just like to connect people, and I want to make sure when they come to RootsTech they have a good experience while they're here. And so connecting people is my nature.
What are some of the challenges with African American research and records, and then also even to the diaspora larger, if you are able to speak to that as well?
Yeah, I think it's a universal problem is access. So access to records and information. Now, FamilySearch and other organizations are doing a phenomenal job of increasing access, but that has always been the challenge: is how do we find our people and records when they might not have been named, or those records just don't exist. That's always been a challenge, but through conversations like you have with all the genealogists that you interview, they give you all the tips and tricks and things that you can do to kind of navigate those waters. But that really is the number one challenge in all of genealogy, and for people of African descent, and especially in the diaspora, right? Because with the transatlantic slave trade and people coming over, once they landed, sometimes there were records that were kept, but other times there were not. So if you came to the Caribbean, you might not have records. If you came to, Brazil, you might not have records. Wherever people landed, we might not have those records. And so what's been helpful is the advancements in DNA. So yesterday we had a luncheon with some African dignitaries from various countries. We also had some DNA experts that are talking about how can we make this bridge from the east coast of the United States all the way back to the west coast of Africa.
Right.
And that's really the developments in DNA technology and the specificity that happens with ethnic origins. That is really breaking down those brick walls that exist for African Americans in doing their family history. And so I'm so grateful for what happens in the industry.
Yes. Can you talk to us about the Family Research Library?
FamilySearch.
The FamilySearch Library.
So FamilySearch Library, largest genealogical library in the world. It is based here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We've got floors and books and research specialists. It's where people from around the world come to research. There are more people who come to the FamilySearch Library to research their British ancestors than research in Britain.
Oh, wow.
Because we've got those records. We've been collecting records since 1894 as part of the Genealogical Society of Utah. So we've been doing this for 130 plus years. And all our records are in the Granite Mountain Record Vault. So it is a big thing in the side of the mountain where we back up everything that we've captured for years. So all the microfilm we scan, all the documents that we scan, they all are on our servers, but also backed up in the Granite Mountain Record Vault as well. And the library is just an extension of where all those records are. And so if you've never done it before, you have to come. If you're trying to do your genealogy and just connect with your people, come to FamilySearch Library in Salt Lake City, Utah. But we also actually have extensions of the FamilySearch Library through affiliates like public libraries and things like that, or Family Search centers that are in a location near you. You can just look up FamilySearch.org/locations, and you can find a Family Search center that will give you access to some of the things that are only accessible in the Family Search Library.
So for RootsTech, we've posted and shared a lot of content on our social media pages, and folks are interested. So what would you say to someone who is interested in attending RootsTech 2026?
Come, book your travel now.
Yes.
So most airlines will let you do a year in advance, and go ahead and book your hotel and come.
Okay.
The thing is, there's nothing like being on site.
Right.
Like, COVID kind of put a damper on things when we couldn't meet in person, and that's when RootsTech went fully virtual. Now we are a virtual family history conference that's global with an in-person component here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And this year are more than people that have been since COVID. And you can feel it.
Yes.
There's just this electricity that's in the air. We're on our third day, and I look like I'm still like drinking a Red Bull, like, you know.
Right.
Because
yeah, we all feel that way.
Yes.
Yes.
So much energy. We will all crash at like 5 o'clock today.
Right.
Yes.
Right? But we have hundreds of vendors that are here. So this is where the industry gathers. So if you want to come and make connections with our partners like MyHeritage and Ancestry, or, you know, Milio, and just all kinds of different companies that are here, you can only get that here. Yes, you can have some virtual experiences and meet some of those vendors there, but it's nothing like going to a booth and paying $33 for a DNA test from MyHeritage. $33 for an autosomal DNA test. That only happens here. So 2026, come. I don't know what we're going to have in terms of keynotes. I don't know what we're going to have experiences. But if it was anything like Steve Rockwood's keynote to kick off RootsTech, he had a drone fly in that had a lobster, and then the whole room exploded.
Yes, and we jumped.
And we all just, like, it is that fun, and it's going to be the same type of energy next year. Just pay attention. Come to rootstech.org. Make sure you sign up to be, you know, updated on everything that's happening with the conference in 2026. But book your travel now and come and hang out with me. And
Yes, yes, yes.
Thom is a lot of fun.
Yes.
He's also a karaoke king. I didn't know.
One other question that I have for you: have you run into first-time attendees or folks that are coming and sharing their experience? Can you share maybe one or two stories that folks, you know, or experiences that folks have shared with you?
Interesting experience. So I have a friend in my neighborhood who has a woman that's visiting him that he originally met in Brazil. She's Brazilian. She's currently living in Italy, so she speaks Portuguese, Italian, and English.
Wow.
So she's been coming with me every morning to RootsTech to come and just, you know, walk the expo hall, take classes and stuff like that. And I asked her after her first day on Thursday, like, how did things go? And she's like, I went to the FamilySearch library, I was looking for this family, and I found the daughter I'd been looking for 5 years. She moved to Italy and was doing research in Italy for this Italian ancestor, but she just found that ancestor looking at records at the FamilySearch library on Thursday.
Look at that.
And it's her first time here. She's a professional genealogist, never been here, but that's the power of RootsTech. Not that RootsTech is going to like solve all your genealogy problems, but it at least will, you know, you have the chances of having good luck. There's just so much good energy and juju when you're here. But if you're a first timer, you will undoubtedly have a discovery experience, which will help you further your work.
Yeah. Speak to the exhibitors as well, maybe some of them.
Yeah, so exhibitors, I mean, if you probably have gone around with your people and just done the expo hall, but I'm like, we're at the South End, and it goes forever. And exhibitors are here that help people from, you know, the beginning steps of the genealogy, things related to genealogy. So there's a feature on MyHeritage called My Story, where all it's about is just collecting stories every week from you. You know, there's all kinds of, like, my daughter's here getting face painted, and she's playing, you know, on a typewriter. So we got stuff for kids. We got swings. We've got, you know, advanced, DNA classes. So in the booth,
Chiricano was on the swing.
You were on the swing? Okay. After you did the advanced DNA class?
Yes, right, exactly. Thank you.
The cool thing is that many of the exhibitors, we have Family Tree DNA here, they do classes that happen as part of the workshops available at RootsTech, but they also do things in their booth and really demonstrate as a company what they, you know, what their skill set is and what are the things they provide for their patrons. You can get all that experience here.
I do have one last question, actually. It's called RootsTech, tech in the title.
Yes.
Talk about a little bit like the technology in genealogy.
Oh my goodness, yes. So, you know, the thing that's hottest right now is generative AI. And we are leveraging that power, not just FamilySearch, but others in the industry. This has always been a technology conference. It came out in 2011, actually as the marrying of genealogy and technology. That's always been it. So how have technologists been able to advance the work that we're doing? Well, now it's generative AI. And so every day I run into people and they're like, oh, I was just in this AI class. I was just in that AI class. For FamilySearch, we've launched this new feature called Full Text Search, which looks at historical images that have not been indexed, but the computer is able to transcribe, and we have a way to search those records and discover our enslaved ancestors in a way that we've never been able to do before.
Yes.
That is what AI is doing. And that's just what we're doing. All our vendors and all others are doing the same kind of work. And you come to RootsTech and that's what you learn. You learn exactly what they're doing to move the industry forward and to help people with their genealogy discoveries using technology.
Just phenomenal. So, Thom, thank you so much for this interview. Yeah, and we're hoping that our viewers and listeners will be excited and come to RootsTech 2026.
Thom,
it is a really cool experience.
I already talked to my heritage. We had a nice little gathering last
Oh,
night.
yes,
They
yes.
want to make it a bigger party next year.
Oh,
So if
wonderful.
y'all wanna come, turn up or whatever.
Yes, yes. Thank
Come to
you.
RootsTech.
Thank you so much for all that you do, and we just appreciate you
Thank
so
you.
much,
No,
more than you
thank
can
you.
imagine.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Thom.
All right.